My name is Adrian Price, and today we're talking about how to sell your art on the internet. How do you even get it on the internet? Let's start with that. It is possible to do, but it's going to cost you some money to have other people do these things for you. My recommendation would be to find a print shop. That way they can scan the work and then email you the copy. Another option is to take a picture of the work and upload it to be printed. However, I do recommend going to the print shop because they're going to do a great job of it and it's going to be a higher resolution, which means a higher quality. What should you bring to the print shop? You're going to need to bring a thumb drive or a USB flash drive so that you can store the file. You'll want to bring the artwork that you scanned, but be sure that you sign it first, and you're going to make sure that you're going to have your list of requirements of them. I recommend having this written down so there's no confusion on what you want from them. You can even call ahead. You can say, "Hey, I'm interested in getting my artwork scanned. How much does that cost? Can you scan it at 300 dpi or 600 dpi?" The reason you want to ask that is because 600 dpi is a higher resolution, so that when you make it bigger and enlarge it, it's not going to lose quality. That way, if you take something that is an 8 by 10 picture and you double the size, it's still going to look good. And your other question should be, can you put it on a USB flash drive or can you email it to me? So now you've gone to the print shop and you're standing there. Reiterate that you want your artwork scanned at 600 dpi and then confirm what they said it was going to cost you. Ask them to save it in 3 different formats: PDF, PNG, and JPEG. That way you have flexibility. Then ask them to save it to your flash drive or email it to you. Now, if these files are big, it's going to be a problem emailing it to you. You're going to want to put it on your flash drive. And honestly, that's the best way to go. Put it on your flash drive, but if they can, also email it to you. The more places you have it, the better. At this point, you can either ask someone to help you move forward, or you can learn things yourself. Or you can learn to do things yourself, I meant to say. So I know you're not a person who can't learn. It's just that you're not tech savvy, and that's totally fine. I would recommend going and using a website such as Sumo Paint and just cleaning up any things that look a little bit bad, or you can hire someone else to work on that for you. Now, if you want to sell your work online, I recommend doing a print-on-demand shop. This means that someone else or another company takes care of your work, prints it, and sends it to the customer. So the pro of this is that it saves time and hassle, versus the con, which is that you get less of a cut of the money. You get less of the cut of the money because you're outsourcing the work, and that way it's to be expected because you're not actually doing the work for that part. I would say that the best way to do this would be to do print on demand because then you're taking less of a cut, but also less of the hassle and the stress. It's a lot easier. If you do your own shop, you can fulfill your own customer orders and take your work, print it, and send it to the customer. So the pro is that you have complete control of the process. You can brand everything that you want the way you like it, and you can make more since you're not outsourcing the work. But the con is that you have to actually do the work. So you have to be available to go and go to the post office every day if necessary, or whatever schedule that you set it up. I would recommend just doing the print on demand shop. I would recommend the print on demand shop for that reason. Setting up your online store. So I would recommend using Etsy or Big Cartel or Shopify. I know that Etsy works with many print on demand websites and they integrate very nicely and easily. They'll also collect taxes for you and send out, depending on the state you're in, and send out documents to the IRS to make sure that you're in compliance. They also provide you with end of year sales information that's going to be helpful for taxes and also just to see if you're making any money up on this side hustle and also to see if you're making any money. Shopify, I believe, does not do that for you, neither does Big Cartel, so you'd have to be more invested in that if you want to go that route. But again, remember that Etsy and all these other companies also take a slice of the pie when you're using them to host your work. Remember, you can add a watermark to your art because people are going to want to steal it. If you make good work, they want it. You should also price it so that it sells. The more that you get your name out there and have a following, the better it's going to be for your sales. And you should also remember to back up your files. Just because that thumb drive that is sitting in a secure spot on your desk, just because your thumb drive is sitting in a spot on your desk, just because that thumb drive is sitting in a spot on your desk that you think is secure does not mean that the files are safe. What happens when you lose it, or even worse, your cat jumps on your desk and then knocks it over behind the desk and then you never see it again? That's going to be a problem for you and you won't even realize it. So I would recommend using a website like Dropbox to store your files so that you can access them anywhere. Here is the Dropbox link, and I'll put that in the description below so that if you haven't signed up, you can do that. Just wanted to say though that this is a referral link, so if you sign up through this link, it does help me, the person who's making this video. Don't forget to share your work. So if you have a social media presence, or you don't have, so if you don't have a social media presence yet, you should start one. And why not now? You can start up your art account. So share your work online and use hashtags. People actually really do use hashtags to search for things, so make sure that you're not tagging anything that's not related to the work that you're doing. For this piece on the left, you can see I would tag it with a bunch of butterfly hashtags. I would tag it with a bunch of butterfly hashtags. I would try not to make any spelling errors though. As you can see, I did make one already on this slide. And I would make it and I would make sure that I'm adding in how I made it. So it's art and it's also a painting that I did. You get the idea. Thank you so much for watching this video. Check out more of my work on adrianpriceart.com, and please share this with other friends that you have. If you have any questions, leave those in the comments. Thanks.